Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well, and welcome to the Movement and Yoga Week 11 online. I hope these weeks have helped you to stay well and mobile in your body so that we can stay calm and all of the other things going on in your life can be a little bit smoother, I hope. So, last week we worked a lot on the chakras and the central line channel, or the Chong Mai. And this week I thought, do you know what? We do use our legs and pelvis quite a lot. Maybe they need a special little bit of attention. So yes, we're going to focus more on the legs and the pelvis. See if we can get everything a bit smoother and a bit more open. So if you are stuck at home, that round the pelvis and the lower back could get a bit stiff with a lot of sitting or more still movement or hardly any movement at all. Or it could be that you're very frantic and working a lot, and this could also build a bit of tightness in the pelvis and the legs. So a bit of attention in this area for us today. Just wanted to show you in my yoga anatomy book. So when we're standing, the standing pose is called Tadasana, and it translates as mountain pose. Here we have Tadasana. So this is what I'd like to look at, the relationship between our pelvis and the legs and then the feet on the ground. So these really long thigh bones here, how they are inside the pelvic ball and how long they are and elongated for us to stand on, and how the feet are connected on the floor as well is really important. So we did a lot of foot attention last week as well. So there's a variation to Tadasana. It's called Samasthiti. Excuse my pronunciation. Here it is. So this is our Tadasana with hands in prayer position. And on the opposite side, it shows you how the feet are connected to the ground and how the weight is equal, balls of the foot all the way to the heel. And this is really important for our legs to grow out of and for the pelvis to be nicely supported on the top of the legs. Great. So to begin with, let's come up to standing and do our usual warm-up routine. So maybe just walking the feet through the soles of the feet on the floor. So toes to heel, just waking them up. So maybe you're doing this video in the afternoon or perhaps in the morning, but we want to help waken the soles of the feet up so that we're able to grow up through the legs and into the pelvis so we can support the rest of the body on the top of the legs. Super. Allow the spine to just join in. You can have relaxed arms and shoulders. See where your shoulders are at. Perhaps there's a bit of holding in them. Maybe just a bit of touch just to help them relax there. Brushing down the arms, releasing the arms. Lovely. And then we'll come to a parallel, whether that be hip width or shoulder width apart. And we'll just gently lift the toes up off the floor and place the toes back down. So they're just resting on the floor. So we're not holding the toes or holding the weight with them pinched up like kind of like eagle claws. We want to make sure they're nice and relaxed on the floor, spreading out and grounding. And the same with the heels, just allowing the heels to come off the floor a little way. Don't have to be completely up, but just allowing a bit of space underneath the heel and let the heels gently place the weight back on the floor so the spine can be long and the legs at the back are nice and open and long. So we don't want to lean too far back. There's a lot of weight into the heels and a lot of tension held in the back. So we want somewhere in between. So if we play with that, let's play with rocking the weight back and forward. So the weight goes backwards as the toes lift up, and then as the heels lift up, the weight goes forwards. Feels a bit odd, doesn't it? But just play with these two things. Toes up, leaning back, heels up, forward. And then after a little bit of rocking, placing the toes on the ground, letting them relax on the ground, and let the heels sit on the ground as well. So you can allow some weight into the heels. And we want to find what feels comfortable and natural for us in our own bodies, with the weight of the pelvis going straight down to the ground. So we can work with gravity to be effortless in our bodies. So I'll just show you sideways. So I've been rocking forward, heels up, rocking back, toes up. And then we want to find somewhere in between. So my legs are long, I've just got baggy trousers on. Want that place where we can just rest. And you can bounce. So if you just pick the heels up and drop your weight, you can bounce through the legs there and allowing the pelvis to drop down to the ground. Lovely. Great. So from here, let's just shift the weight onto one leg, keeping that hip nice and open. And we'll do circles with the ball of the foot with the other. Awakening the rest of the toes and feet up. Oh yes, my right foot's a little bit crunchy today. Hopefully it can get a bit smoother with the work that we do. So really opening the ball of the foot, the metatarsal, where the toes are attached as well. The big toe side, inside of the foot, and the little toe side. Perhaps you want to just rock on the heel a little bit, but there's more weight in this standing leg. And back to the ball of the foot, and then change direction if you haven't already. Not forgetting to breathe. Where is your breath today? Great. And then just gently tucking the toes under. So I'll turn sideways. So you can either have the foot here or a little bit forward, or also a little further back. If that's a bit uncomfortable, just lift the heel off the floor. So we're just opening the space in the front of the ankle. And then we'll step that back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg. So from the heel all the way up the back of the leg into the pelvis. We want to make sure that the tailbone is drawing towards the heel at the back. So we're not totally tucking and we're not totally sticking out. We want to make sure it's gravity assisted straight down to the ground. Lovely. And the same again, gently tucking the toes under. Very gently. And then undoing that and stepping back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg up from the heel or the little toe all the way up into the lower back here. Great. And then we can shake that out. Perhaps you can feel a difference in each leg. Feel a lot more open on this side. So let's get the other side that we've not worked a bit more open. Circling with the ball of the foot. Waking up the toes where they're attached, the ball of the foot, so near the big toe on the inside, and then the little toe side. Perhaps you want to rock onto the heel of the foot as well. And then back to the ball of the foot and change direction if you haven't already. Allowing the leg to be free in the knee and the hip as we circle the foot. Great. And I'm just going to turn so you can see. So the same thing here. Gently tucking the toes under, wherever that is for you. or just gently lifting the heel off the floor. And then stepping that back into a lunge. It doesn't have to be huge. Go to wherever's comfortable for you. Allowing the pelvis to drop straight down into the ground with gravity. Even if the heel's off the floor, that's also okay. That's not a problem. So you want to make sure that the tailbone's not sticking out or tucking under too much, so then that will strain on the front of the thighs, allowing the weight to drop straight down to the ground. Lovely. And again, tucking the toes under. Great. And then opening the back of the leg, stepping that out into a little lunge, allowing the back of the leg all the way from the heel up into the lower back to open. Great. And then shaking that out. And then bringing the feet slightly closer together or touching. Depends what's comfortable for you. If you have lower back problems, just soften the knees a little and place the hands on the tops of the legs or the pelvis and just doing circles with the knees. So we don't have to overdo anything here. We're just circling the knees. If you feel comfortable to, soften the knees a little more, and you can take hold of placing your hands on your knees, so we don't want to grip anything, and circling the knees here. So allowing the shoulders to be soft and the head and neck to be released as well, so we're not holding any tension up here. So all going down to the ground. And then circling the other way. So as well as the knees, we're helping the lower back to massage out, and we're lubricating our ankles as well. Lovely. Not forgetting to breathe, just a natural breath, however that is for you today. And then undoing that, we're going to soften the knees and arm curl. Lovely. And then opening the legs a little bit wider. You can shake them out as well. So because we're focusing on the connection between feet, legs and pelvis, I thought maybe we can do the 3 tails for the pelvis. I think we've done them a few times before. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So the first one is imagining a long tail like a cat or I guess a monkey. That was the word. So we're going to allow the tail to kind of waft and make the pelvis do a bit of a figure of 8, keeping the knees soft, and we really want to let the feet spread down into the ground so the toes are relaxed, so we're not holding on to the ground with our toes like this. We want to make them nice and rooted like a tree growing into the ground. So imagining this huge tail, whether it be a cat or a monkey, and it can swish round and allow the pelvis to move. You can do this a lot, smaller movement. See how you feel today, but allow the pelvis to just go for a ride from the tail, the tip of the tail that's moving me first. And then just allow the spine to join in and the shoulders. So I'm not holding anywhere in my shoulders. I'm allowing them to melt down the ribs at the back. And my arms are joining in nice and freely. Brilliant. And the breath can just pour in. Natural breath. Hopefully you don't have to think too much about that, but making sure we're not holding our breath anywhere. Lovely. And then allowing that to gently ebb away. Great. And then we're going to come to a stance that's a little bit closer. So I'm kind of shoulder width apart. Again, allowing my feet to really root into the ground downwards. And I'm just going to gently soften the knees. So not in a full bend, gently softening the knees. This time we have the fish tail. So my tail as a fish moves this way. So we've had the monkey or cat tail that moves this way, kind of around like that. And this time I have the fishtail, which moves like this. So I want to allow this tail to move either side. And you can do this slowly. So we're allowing these greater trochanters, that's the top of the femur bone on the outside. Each side, just allowing them to gently slide over from one side to the other. And if you wish to, you can allow this movement to get a little bit quicker. The less you think about it, the easier it is. So the feet are spread in the ground. The breath is just pouring in to wherever that is today. It might just be here, or you can feel it in the belly, or just through the nose and the mouth. And making sure our shoulders and arms are relaxed, and the head and the neck. So everything can just go for a ride, and it's all from the movement of the tail. So we can also do this a lot smaller and slower. Great. So I'm just going to turn sideways to show you. So I'm moving in this plane sideways. So I'm making sure that the bum doesn't come out or tucking too much. Really allowing the pelvis to drop straight down. Use gravity. It's your friend. So just sideways. And the legs gently soften and slightly lengthen as the pelvis moves from side to side. Great, and allow that to ebb away. And then again, we'll come to a slightly wider stance. So keeping the feet in parallel. If that feels uncomfortable on the legs and the pelvis, you can gently turn the feet out so the heels are slightly in and the toes are facing out. So you don't want full turn out, just a little if that's starting to feel uncomfortable on the glutes and the lower back. So just a slight turn out. Now this time we have our dinosaur tail. It's wide and huge, and we want to swing it from the back through to the front. So allowing this huge pelvis to move through like this. I'm going to keep my knees really soft, lengthening the legs. So as the pelvis comes through and tucks, I want to make sure that my knees are still soft. So my legs aren't all the way straight. But at the back, you can lengthen the legs. So I'll just turn a little so you can see. So it's scooping this tail under and back. So swinging this huge dinosaur tail through the legs. So this time we can stick the bum out a bit and gently tucking under, but making sure that it's not too much. Maybe you just want to go to here, but we don't want to lengthen the legs too much and squeeze the lower back. Nice and soft. Going to only as far as is comfortable for you. And the same again, allowing the spine and the arms to go for the ride from the dinosaur tail. You can swing the arms in the same direction of the pelvis if that's comfortable. Great. Then from here, just slowly allowing the dinosaur tail to ebb away. Lovely. And we'll come back to a normal, neutral stance. Just padding the feet in the ground. Lovely. Great. And settle. Just allowing the breath to calm down a little bit. It's quite a nice one to get you warm, all the three tails. So we want our feet to still be soft and spread in the ground. Equal weight in the toes and the heels and the balls of the feet as well. Spreading and rooting down. So from here, let's just take the chin to chest. So we're keeping the legs long from the feet all the way to the pelvis. We're just dropping chin to chest, allowing the head to roll over. And from here, we can soften the knees and allow the shoulders to join in as well. Only go as far as is comfortable on the spine. All we're going to do is allow the shoulders to roll us up. So drawing the shoulders up and melting them down the ribs at the back. So it's chin to chest, soften the legs, the shoulders draw us up to come back up to standing, and then they roll back, melting down the ribs at the back. So as well as the shoulders bring us up, it's actually the use of our legs to bring us back up to standing, so we can stand nice and firm and stable on our legs. So I'll just demonstrate it once from the side so you can see. So it's chin to chest, then the shoulders can join in, and then softening the knees. So here it's the shoulders that draws the top part of the body up, but as I come upwards, now I'm going to press my weight into my feet, pushing up, and then the shoulders can draw back and melt down the ribs. So it's this action. So putting the spine back up, upright, and then using the legs to come back up to standing. So let's just do that a couple of times. So we're opening the ribs and the spine at the back. At this point where it's really difficult to reach, we're opening this area. We're using our legs to bring us straight up to standing, and we're opening the shoulders at the front. So you can have a natural breath, see what works for you. So I'm going to breathe out as chin goes to chest. Softening the knees. I'm going to breathe in, draw the shoulders, the legs lengthen, and then they melt down. Breathing out. Breathing in as everything draws up again. Breathing out. Breathing in to come up to standing. Shoulders melt. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Shoulders, legs. Great. Let's do one more. Breathing out. Breathing in. And just allow the shoulder blades to slide down at the back. We want the weight nicely going straight down to the ground, so not too far forward or too far back. Just somewhere nice in the middle, with the kneecaps released at the front of the legs. Lovely. So shake the legs out. And then from here, let's just turn the head from side to side, simply rotating the skull on the top of the spine. Only going as far as is comfortable. Don't want to strain the neck too much. Some days you might only go a certain distance, and it might be less than some others, and that's totally fine. It's just noticing where you are today and how it feels today. Great. And then coming to the center, and we'll just do chin to chest. And then from here, allowing the eyes, your gaze, to kind of walk your face to look up towards the ceiling, or if not, the opposite side of the wall, or if you're outside, top of a tree. If it's too much on the neck and throat, you can just stay here. But maybe your eyes can just take you to look up towards the sky or the ceiling, but keeping the space in the back of the neck so we don't fold and collapse and put too much tension on the front. Allowing the spine to keep growing up and out, and then chin to chest again. Allowing the back of the neck to just gently open and the face to relax towards the ground. Same again with the gaze, allowing your eyes to take you to look up towards the sky, wherever's comfortable for you, keeping that space at the back of the neck. And just coming back to neutral. So let's just shake the hands out, and we can shake the feet out if you'd like to as well. Great. So from here, last week we did a lot of dough in, so that's the self-tapping. So this week I thought we could do some firm squeezes and brush strokes as well. So it's going to help the muscles to relax with the squeezing, and the brushing helps calm the nervous system down. So you can also do this sitting if that's more comfortable for you. So let's start by rubbing the hands together, creating some chi or ki, some energy in between the hands. And let's start at our face and head. So if you've got clean hands and you don't mind touching your face, we'll go there. If you want to press pause and go and wash your hands quickly, feel free to do so. So placing the hands over the face at the front. So I've placed mine over my eyes, fingertips on my forehead, and the heel of the hands into the cheek. Just allowing the breath and the weight and the warmth to help the face relax. And then just gently pressing around the face. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels good. So gentle pressing around the face. So I'll come a bit closer so you can see. So in Chinese medicine and from yoga as well, there's a lot of energetic channels that start and end at the face. So by doing some face work, we can help unblock meridians and nadis. So that's from in yoga, nadis, meridians from Chinese medicine. So pressing the face. You can use fingertips on the jaw and chin, and my thumbs underneath on the jaw there. Pressing either side of the head, all the way round just above the ears. So palms now on the back of the head. Great. And you can place one hand on the back of the head and one on the front, gently pressing in. So it's firm, but not too hard. And then either side of the neck, so you can interlace the fingers together and then gently squeeze either side of the spine from the top of the neck all the way down to where the shoulders are. So gently pressing all the way down. Lovely. And then from here, so I'll stand up again so you can see. So from here, I'm going to allow one arm to support the other, and I'm just gently squeezing from the neck across the shoulder and all the way out to the tip of the shoulder. Great. Once more. And continue down this arm. So relax this arm down, and we want to gently press, firm squeezes all the way down. Not forgetting the elbow. These joints do so much for us every day. Giving that elbow some love and attention. And then down the forearm. Making sure this shoulder's relaxed down. So you can really relax this arm here as though it's somebody else's. Great. And then into the wrist and the hands. So pressing with the thumb and fingers, giving the hand a squeeze, and all the fingers and thumb there. Great. I'm relaxing that, and we'll do the same. I can definitely tell I'm a bit of a wonky shoulder, so let's even ourselves out. So I'm going to hold this shoulder, this elbow here, so I can reach this shoulder with my left hand, and from the neck, from the outside part of the neck, from the spine, squeezing out all the way down to the tip of the shoulder, side of the arm. So always working from the center outwards, allowing the energy or blockages to move out, and it's going to help tonify all the body as well. Once more. Great. And then relaxing the arm that you're squeezing from the shoulder, so top of the arm. Great. Nice, juicy, firm squeezes, and then into the elbow. A lot of attention. These elbows do a lot of work for us. And then down to the forearm. So same again, making sure that this shoulder and arm's really relaxed. So if I were to let it go, it's really going to let go. So it's someone else's. Great. All the way down to the wrist. And then into the palm of the hand. So using the thumb or fingertips. Prefer the thumb personally. All the way down to the fingers and the thumb. Great. And then from here, just want to brush either side of the torso, the front, and a little bit of the back from here. Great. Brushing down, and you can brush the arms now, shoulders to hands, brushing down the torso again, either side of the ribs and the front and at the back, only going as far as is comfortable on the shoulders, down the ribs and the pelvis. Then from here, if this is okay for you to do, so only go as far as is comfortable. If you can't reach the feet, don't worry, just imagine, unless you've got a nice person at home that can squeeze the lower legs and feet for you. So from here, so I'm going to keep my knees soft and constantly making sure that my head and neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. So I'm going to do a leg at a time. So I'm just doing the same kind of firm pressing that I did on the arms. So down one leg. Same thing with the elbows. That we did with the elbows. We're doing the same with the knee. These joints do so much for us. Giving it some attention, you can press round the kneecap and giving some gentle pressure into the back of the knee. And then either side of the lower leg, working down into the ankle and then pressing the foot if you can. So I've got my knees soft and my head and neck are relaxed, so I'm not holding anything here. All the way down to the ground. And then the other leg. So I'm just going to come up a little bit, making sure I use my legs to come up. So either side of the leg, and then giving the knee some attention does so much for us. All the way down the lower leg, nice firm pressure, but not too hard. We want to look after ourselves. Either side of the foot if you can, or just imagining it all the way down to the feet. And then to come up, we're going to soften the knees and uncurl. Great. And we're just going to brush off again. If you can brush off from the torso all the way down the legs. And the same with the back. Side of the ribs, back of the legs. So once more on the front, all the way down, brushing. And then on the back, all the way down and brushing. Lovely. So I hope you're feeling a little more energized and unblocked in the body, and the legs and the pelvis are a little freer. So from here, if you'd like to make your way to the floor, or you have a bed or flat surface we can work on. So I'm just going to move the camera so you can see. So coming to the floor, and you can use a bolster or a cushion, however you feel comfortable. And from here, all I'm going to do is make sure that my shoulders are relaxed on the ground and they're not up by my ears. I want to make sure that the head and neck have got plenty of room. So if you just gently move your head from side to side, allowing the back of the skull to be massaged into the ground. Not straining anything, just gently moving the head. And then let that come to neutral. And then perhaps just walking the feet in the ground, toes to heel. Seeing how the pelvis is. Great. And then spreading the feet into the ground. So maybe you'd like a bolster underneath the knees to help support you. So from here, all we're going to do is allow the front of the pelvis to move from side to side. And then the legs can just gently join in. The spine will join in too. very gentle. So the legs don't have to go all the way to the ground. So we're just allowing the back of the pelvis to be massaged into the ground, so the sacrum as well. So all that work that our pelvis and legs do, this is just going to help soften and massage and ease the areas that we're focusing on today. Just having a natural breath. So if you wish to, you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then if it's comfortable for you, for your lower back, if it's not, you can just stick to a very subtle movement from the front of the pelvis. If it's okay on your spine, we're going to move to the knees initiating. So now the legs are taking the pelvis for a walk rather than the other way around. So allowing the knees to fall, and they can go to wherever's comfortable. They don't have to go to the floor. My pelvis is now just on one side, so the back part, this side, is off the floor. If the knees can't go to the floor, don't worry at all. You can also keep the bolster under the knees if that helps. But the initiation, what's important, is coming from the knees. So allowing the knees to take the legs, the thigh bones, and the pelvis to one side. See, so I'm allowing this part of my spine to come off the floor. And you can have your arms on the floor either side of you, or if you want, you can place them on the belly or the ribs to feel the movement of the spine and the knees moving from side to side. Same thing, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We want to keep the feet nice and spread, so as they fall to one side, as they come back, we can keep the feet active and connected to the ground, so it's easier for the legs to move back to center. Great. And our head and neck are still nicely released. Trying to let go of any tension if there is any. Great if there isn't. And then from here, we're just going to come back to the movement, the initiation from the hips. So rearrange yourself if you need to. If you need to, let the shoulders go or the head and neck. And then just coming back to the movement of the front of the pelvis. And then the legs follow this time. So you can place your hands on the front of the pelvis if that's useful, or just to the side. So allowing this movement from the pelvis just to settle back to neutral, and coming back to a comfortable position with the pelvis. If you can, allow the knees to come towards the chest. If you can catch hold of the shins or the knees, we're just going to gently move the knees towards the body and away. We can do this with the breath. If that's a bit too much, sorry, I should have mentioned at the start, if you have a belt, so this is an old dressing gown belt, you don't need anything fancy, but you can use a tie or anything like that. So allowing that to go over the knees, and you can do the same here. So only if this is comfortable on your lower back. So allowing the arms to stay relaxed on the ground and drawing the knees towards you, however far they come. They don't have to come towards the chest if that's uncomfortable. So allowing the knees gently to move away and come forward. So as we bring the knees to the chest, towards the chest, that's on an out breath. Breathing in, legs moving away. So I'm just going to do that a couple of times without the strap. So if your hands are on the shins or the knees, allowing the legs to draw in towards the chest on an out breath. And breathing in, lengthening the legs, the thigh bones away. So you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Making that the last one, breathing out and in, and then placing the feet back on the floor. Lovely. And giving a little wiggle from side to side. Great. So if you can, lengthen the legs away. Great. If you need to keep a bolster underneath the knees, please feel free to, but lengthening the legs a little bit more away from the pelvis. So as though we're in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So we can relax the legs. So see, maybe wiggling the feet from side to side. Maybe you want to rearrange the shoulders as well. So from here, just to help lengthen the spine out from the pelvis a little more. So we can relax the legs now. We're going to breathe in into the belly and the lower back. And we're going to make sure that we're not, just move my shirt, that we're not arching so much that there will be probably a little gap underneath the lower back, and that's totally fine with the legs out. If that's uncomfortable, please use a bolster. So we're going to breathe into the belly. And as we breathe out, our belly button's going to draw back towards the spine. So we're not moving the pelvis, just the belly button draws back towards the spine, gently engaging the muscles. And as we breathe out a little more, the arms are just going to come up towards the ceiling. Breathe in again. And as we breathe in, the arms can reach so the shoulders come off the floor a little way, if that's comfortable on your neck and shoulders. And as we breathe out, draw the shoulders back down to the ground. And we're going to breathe in again. And as we breathe out, drawing the arms all the way back to the floor or as far as is comfortable. Perhaps you want to soften the elbows if that's easier on the shoulder. So just above the head there. If they can touch the floor, that's great. Then we'll breathe in. And then out, a huge arc all the way back down to the start. So we're just going to do this a couple more times to help the spine lengthen from the waist and the arms to help lengthen us out to the upper part of our body. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out, belly button draws back, arms float up towards the sky. Breathing in, fingertips towards the sky, gently lifting the shoulders off if that's comfortable. Breathing out through the mouth and allow the shoulders to rest back into the ground. Breathing in, one normal breath here. Breathing out, allow the arms to go towards the top of the head, not the floor if that's uncomfortable, and you can soften the elbows if that's easier. Breathing in here, breathing out a huge arc all the way back down to the ground. So let's just do that twice more. Breathing in. Breathing out, belly button draws back, arms floating up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, fingertips towards the sky, shoulders gently come off the floor, head and neck are still relaxed. Breathing out, shoulders sink back to the ground. Breathing in, one breath here. Breathing out, the arms float up towards the head if that's comfortable. Breathing in. Breathing out, the arms float all the way back down into an arch to the floor. Once more, breathing in. So I'm going to talk less this time, just saying the breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, fingertips to the ceiling. Breathing out, shoulders relaxing. Breathing in, not moving there. Breathing out, arms move to the sky. Breathing in, breathing out, arms all the way back down to either side of the body. Great. So from here, just drawing the legs back so the feet are planted on the floor and the knees are up towards the sky. Lovely. So if you're comfortable to, we're going to just bring in the draw of the pelvis. So this time it is a little tilt. So we're going to breathe in, and then on an out breath, pelvis is going to tip slightly so the tailbone's going towards the heels. And if you wish to, pressing a little more weight in the feet so the glutes are relaxed. We're not squeezing here. We're really relaxing the glutes and just allowing the pelvis as though it had a balloon tied to the pelvis, just gently floating up towards the sky. We don't have to do a full bridge. We can just come an inch or two or a centimetre off the floor. So we'll do that a couple of times, and then we'll add the arms as well if that's comfortable for you. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out, allow the belly button to draw back towards the spine. This time we're going to allow the pelvis to gently tuck and float up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out, uncurling that and back down to the ground. So we'll do that a couple of times, twice more. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, gently pressing into the feet, glutes are relaxed, balloons gently floating up towards the sky. Breathing in here, breathing out and uncurling the spine. Once more, breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, gently curling the tail, floating up towards the ceiling. Breathing in here, breathing out and undoing the pelvis. So if you'd like to just do the arms or just do the pelvis, feel free to choose whichever, or you can do one and then the other. If you wish to knit these movements together, this is what we're going to do next. So we're going to start as we usually do, breathing in through the nose, and as we breathe out, the belly button's the first thing to draw back towards the spine. This helps stabilize the spine so we have less problems or discomfort within the lower back, and it makes everything a lot more stable. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out, belly button draws back. That draws back. We're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Going to breathe in, arms up, and the shoulders come off the floor a little way. Head and neck are still on the ground and relaxed. So this doesn't happen. All this. So really allowing the head to relax. Breathing out, allow the shoulders to drop down. As we breathe in here, so this is going to keep the arms where they are. Going to breathe in. This time the same thing again. As we breathe out, the arms are going to move away and the belly button's going to draw back towards the spine. And this is where the pelvis floats up towards the sky. Only go as far as is comfortable, and the same with the elbows. Then we're going to breathe in here. Breathe out, uncurl the spine and the arms all the way back down to the beginning. So the pelvis moves as the arms go up towards the sky. So I'm using my weight in my feet to press more weight into the feet so the pelvis can float up towards the sky. So it's not an effort of just from the pelvis. I'm allowing the breath and the weight. Just allowing the pelvis to gently float up to wherever is comfortable. So let's just do this a couple of times to help this movement in the body from the feet through the legs and into the rest of the body. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out, belly button draws back, arms float up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, fingertips towards the sky, shoulders gently off the floor. Breathing out, everything melts down into the ground. Breathing in. That's our resting breath. Breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, arms start floating up towards the head, and the pelvis gently floating up as well, only going as far as is comfortable. Make sure the glutes are relaxed so we're not squeezing anywhere. Really relax, breathing in. Breathing out, uncurling the spine and the arms all the way back down to the first position. Breathing in. Filling the belly, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, arms float towards the sky. Breathing in, here. Shoulders gently lift off. Breathing out, everything melts back down. Breathing in, resting breath. Breathing out, belly button goes towards the spine again. As the arms move and the pelvis curls all the way up to the sky. Only as far as is comfortable, you don't have to do a huge bridge. Breathing in here. Feet are connected in the ground. Breathing out, everything uncurls. Let's do this once more. If I'm going a bit slow with talking, breathe at your normal, natural pace. Certainly don't hold anything. If you need to do a couple of breaths with each movement, feel free to. So once more, breathing in. Through the nose, breathing out, the belly button draws back, arms float up to the sky. Breathing in here, shoulders gently drawing off. Breathing out, they gently soften back down to the ground. Breathing in, the resting breath. Breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, arms float towards the head, and the pelvis lightly floats off the floor. Breathing in, feet are connected into the ground. Breathing out, uncurling everything. And we can just rest here. So if you want, you can allow the legs nice and long, perhaps just to release the legs, shaking the feet out. Or perhaps you want to move the pelvis from side to side. Do whatever you need to feel comfortable and to relax a little bit. Perhaps the knees to chest. Do what feels right. So from here, we're just going to come back up to standing again. So really taking your time, there's no rush at all. Gently making your way. Or if you're on the bed, we're just going to gently move to standing again. So no rush at all. Certainly don't want to feel dizzy or uncomfortable. If you need to pause at sitting, feel free to. Gently making your way, perhaps using a chair, so I have a chair here. Allowing the weight, working the feet to press you, standing, non-curling. Lovely. So I'm just going to move the camera so you can see the head and shoulders. So as you're back up to standing, I just want to read a bit about the feet and the legs. So if you want, you can stand in parallel. If you want your hands over your belly, you can. Just feel your breath into the body. If you wish to, you can close your eyes just as I read this small section for you, visualizing the legs and feet. Let your feet be soft. See through the floor as if it were water. Imagine the floor opening up to your feet as you step and stand. Walking backwards, let the heels drop. Soften down the spine, down the back to the legs to the heels. Let the whole head be full and moving upwards. Legs swinging, folding easily, crawling, rolling, walking, falling. So our wonderful feet always helping us to stay grounded and spread, and the connection of the feet all the way up to the pelvis is really important. So I'm going to do a small practice for us, like a flow into the warriors. So you've made your way up to standing, and then imagining the floor like water. So my yoga mat has the pattern of water on it. So I'm going to imagine I can press my feet and it's allowing space for my feet in the water here. So we're going to come to a nice parallel, allowing the feet to spread into the ground, the ankles are soft, Knees are soft and the pelvis can just gently rearrange and balance itself on the top of the legs. So actually, before we do the flow, if we just gently soften the knees and imagining for a moment that we have a hula hoop. So you can use your arms if you like. So just imagine we're taking this hula hoop around the pelvis, seeing how your pelvis and lower back feels now and the top of the legs. So you can let the arms relax or you can let them go with the same direction as your pelvis. The hula hoop's really good for your waist as well and all the ribs at the back of the rib cage that connect to the spine. So I'm soft in the knees and the pelvis is going round to the side, the back, the side and the front. And then how is it to bring that in a bit smaller? Allowing the shoulders to be relaxed. And then changing direction in the opposite way. You've probably chosen the easiest way, more comfortable way for you. I always find this way a little clunky. But keeping the feet nice and spread in the ground. Sending that hula hoop around. That's great. So when we do our yoga flow in a second, a little sequence, every time we move the pelvis, the feet are constantly moving and readjusting for the legs to be stable and the pelvis to move easily. So this idea of a hula hoop, even though you might think, what on earth is she doing with an invisible hula hoop? It's getting our body used to rearranging and constantly tweaking so we can stay grounded. So bringing that circle gently smaller and smaller in so we come back to the center. So it's helping us to be flexible and strong in the joints. It's allowing our feet to stay grounded and the pelvis to have full range of movement and the legs to really carry us. So any movement should come from the legs rather than the back or up from the shoulders. So we're going to be using our legs in this sequence. So like last week, we're going to start in parallel and we're going to draw the hands into prayer position as we breathe in. As we breathe out, I'm going to soften the knees and the arms come up to the side. And then from here, they're going to drop and swing forward, up, straight parallel. So I'll show you, my arms are like this at the top. And then from here, we're going to shift the weight. I'm shifting the weight over to the left foot, so the right foot releases, and then stepping that foot back into a lunge. And then the arms can drop to the legs, towards the legs, and the front leg can lengthen. Sorry, I'm just going to move sideways so I have a bit more space behind me. So I'm going to breathe in, hands in prayer position, legs are nice and long out of the feet and up towards the pelvis. Breathing in, breathing out, soften the knees, the arms come up to the side, then they drop and come up to the ceiling. Shift the weight onto one foot, step that back, allow the arms to come down and draw that front leg nice and long. And then we're going to soften the knee. So this one's on an out breath. So the front knee's going to soften and the back leg staying nice and long. And the feet are grounded and spread in the ground. Toes are relaxed and heels have got a bit of weight as well. If that's too uncomfortable to drop the heel, you can keep the heel off the ground or perhaps make the lunge a bit smaller. So as the knee softens forward, we're allowing the arms to float up towards the sky. We want to make sure that the pelvis isn't sticking out or tucking too much under, but going straight down in between the legs using gravity. So we're moving here, breathing in, breathing out, everything lengthens, breathing in, softening, breathing out, gathering. Breathing in, breathing out. And then this time, as we come up. So we'll do that 3 times. This time as we come up with the arms, we're going to use the foot to press upwards. So the weight's on the front leg now. And then the leg's going to open again, but we're swinging it open and the arms can come sideways. Now we're in our second warrior. This is warrior number 2. And we're going to do the same thing, drawing in as we breathe out, breathing in, opening. So we're keeping this leg nice and long and allowing the pelvis now to be a bit more open. Great. So breathing in, breathing out, drawing everything towards the center. Breathing in, breathing out, drawing towards the center. Breathing in. Now, this time as we draw everything in, as we breathe in on the next time, we're going to soften and we're going to push from the back foot again and swing through, arms back up, and then draw the breath down, hands in prayer position. On an out breath to come back to the center, hands in prayer position to do the other side. So I'll talk us through that on the left side. So we're going to shift the weight to the right so the left leg can move backwards. So I'll talk us through the left side. So breathing in, hands in prayer position. Breathing out, the arms float to the sides and then they swing up in parallel. Shift the weight to your right foot, allow the left leg to undo and step straight back into a lunge. However big that is for you, it doesn't matter. Breathing in, we're going to lengthen everything with the legs and the arms drop on an out breath. Breathing in, soften that front knee, arms float up, and then breathing out, gathering. Breathing in. So that's the third one. Breathing out. This time we soften, so we breathe in, press the left foot forward, and then we're going to swing it back out again, and the arms open. So the leg opens, this right knee still facing the same direction as before. We've just swung everything else out to the side. Same thing again, breathing in. Breathing in, opening, breathing out, gathering. We can look at our front arm. Breathing in, breathing out, and the feet are still connected nicely into the ground. Everything can move and the pelvis can shift on the top of the legs. Great. So that's the last one. So this time we want to move forward, use that back leg to push us up, and then draw the arms down into prayer position. Super. So I'm going to do the other side. I'll talk us through it, but a little bit quicker, and I'll do right and left again, and then see how we're feeling from there. So, breathing in, hands in prayer position, making sure the feet are nice and soft in the ground, and that our weight isn't too far forward or too far back. Nicely effortless, using gravity in the center. Breathing in. Breathing out, the arms come up to the side and then they float all the way up towards the sky. Shifting the weight to the left foot, the right sneaks back into a lunge. And breathing out. Breathing in, everything opens and softens at the front. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lengthening, breathing in. That's the third one, breathing out, lengthening. This time I want to breathe in. The right foot unpeels and then swings back to open. So I've opened that leg and pelvis. Great, and breathing out here. Breathing in, softening and opening. Great, breathing out, lengthening. Really using the legs here, second one. Breathing out. Making sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Breathing in. Looking forward on the left, if we're on this side, breathing out. Last one, we're going to use the back leg to push us forward. Swing the arms up into prayer position at the top, let's see, and then drawing that down in an out breath. So I'm going to do the right side this way around as well. So breathing in, breathing out. Sorry, left side. Breathing out, softening the knees, arms float to the side, and then up towards the sky. Shifting my weight to my right foot so the left can undo into warrior one. Breathing out, lengthening the leg nice and long from the foot all the way up to the pelvis, and the arms can drop to the side. Breathing in, floating forward. Breathing out, lengthening. Breathing in, floating up and forward. Breathing out, lengthening. Once more. This time we're going to breathe in, float forward, and the left leg undoes and then opens out, swinging the arms sideways. So nice and wide. So have the lunge however you feel and see where the pelvis is at. Great. And then breathing in here. Breathing out. Breathing in, we're going to open and float forward. Breathing out, gathering. Breathing in, opening. Breathing out, gathering in. Really using the legs. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Last one, we're going to breathe in. Use that back foot to bring us back up. Swing the arms up into bow position at the top and draw the arms down. And release that. Lovely. So I just realised I can't quite see the arms at the top. So I'm just going to do that once more on the right and left, a bit swifter with a bit less chat. Anytime you want to rest or you want to do a little bit more, the great thing about this video is you can feel free to, but really be comfortable in your own bodies. And at any time you want to make the lunge a lot smaller, or if it's too much on the shoulders, you can soften the elbows and just bring them up towards like shoulder height, if that's okay, or a little bit higher and softening the elbows. So you really don't have to draw the arms all the way up above the head if that's uncomfortable on the shoulder or the neck. And it's the same with swinging the leg out. See where's comfortable for you. You might just want to step that out here and gently using this leg to soften at the front. So only doing what feels right for you. Lovely. So I'm going to do right and left facing this way. So breathing in, breathing up, softening, constantly using my legs, softening the knees all the way up, shifting the weight to the right, allowing the left leg to open. Great. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Last one. Breathing in. Shifting forward and then swinging and opening sideways. And we're going to breathe in and out. Gathering. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Last one. Breathing out. Breathing in. We'll gently swing us back up and draw the arms down. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Soften using the legs. Great. I'm going to shift my weight to, so I did left side first. Right leg sneaks back. Great. Breathing out. Breathing in. Drawing and opening forward. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out, gathering, breathing in, breathing out. Last one, so breathing in, up and open, swinging nice and wide. Breathing out, breathing in as we soften forward and the arms open. Breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Last one, we're going to come all the way through, swing it up. And draw the hands down in prayer position. Lovely. So from here, what I would really love to do is from last week, so week 10, did a sequence where we used the legs and then the back to uncurl, helping the lower spine and pelvis to open a bit more. And then we did go into downward dog, so we can also use the chair for this. So I would really love to knit these two sequences together so we have a bit more of a longer sequence if you wish to join me. So I'm going to show it on one side and then I'll do it both sides for you, talking your way through. Feel free to use a chair or blocks in the downward dog. So that's the one with the bum in the air, and we've got, if possible, if it's comfortable, I should say, with the hands on the floor. And then this one's for the back, not stretching the legs. And then walking the hands or the feet in to one curl. So we're going to start with last week's sequence, and then we're going to knit in this week's sequence at the end. So if you wish to join me, please feel free to. If you want to rest or continue with just this week's, that's also great. So last week we began the same way as this week. We're in prayer position. We were breathing in, breathing out, hands all the way up to the side. Breathing in. As we breathed in, the fingertips went up towards the sky and the tailbone towards ground, as though we're just about to sit down. And then as we breathed out, we curled, diving forward. Breathing in, we rippled through the feet and then the spine, and then walked our hands or feet out to a downward dog. And then walking the feet in the ground, helping the pelvis to really open, making sure our shoulders are nice and relaxed so my head's not lost like a turtle. And then breathing out, we want to walk the hands or the feet back, soften the legs, open out to the side. This time we'll just draw the arms back down so it's slightly different from last week. And then we're going to breathe in and breathe out, soften the arms. So we're just going to do this practice that we've done now, all the way up. Shift the weight to the right, left foot on tucks into warrior one. Drawing in on an out breath, breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. Last time, up and then swing it open and drawing in on an out breath, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Last one, breathing out. This time we're going to swing forward. Draw the hands down in prayer position. So that's both last week and this week's knitted together. So I'll do right and left with you. If you need a chair, definitely use it. It's great practice. So to start, breathing in and out. I'm going to draw the hands up into a prayer position. And then as you cascade forward, this is where you can get the chair here. You can breathe in, ripple through the legs and the spine, and then downward dog on the chair, walking the feet back. So we're imagining, this time we really are imagining the sitting bones looking out like headlamps towards the opposite side of the room and walking the feet. So we really want to make sure the shoulders are nice and open here. So I'm not crunching the neck or a bit like a turtle, nice and wide. So you don't have to be too far away. This is also good. And then walking them back in, softening the feet. We're going to come this way, draw the hands up into prayer position, and then we do this week's one. Okay. And that's what we'll do. So feel free to use the chair, block, rearrange your feet to make the lunges work for you. So I'll do right and left, and then we'll come to sitting on a chair. So let's go and make a huge sequence for us to feel juicy and nice and warmed up. So breathing in, starting with last week's. Breathing out, softening. The arms float all the way up to prayer position at the top. Breathing in, fingertips and tailbone drawing away. Breathing out, diving forward. Only as far as it's comfortable, you can use your hands on your legs. Breathing in, comes up through the legs and then through the spine.
walking out either hands or feet into downward dog, taking a couple of breaths here whilst walking the feet out, allowing the pelvis and spine to move. On the next out breath, you can walk your feet or your hands back in. Breathing out, use the feet and your weight to come all the way back up into prayer position, and then draw the hands back down. Now, so from here, softening the knees, arms wide to the side, drawing up, hands in parallel. Shift the weight to the left foot, untuck the right into warrior one, and breathing out, everything lengthens, leg and arms. 3 breaths, breathing in, opening and drawing forward. Breathing out, elongating. Once more. And again. And this time I'm going to swing forward and then back, opening the legs and the arms. Breathing in, opening and floating forward. Breathing out, everything draws to the center. Once more. And then this time, swinging forward. Hands in prayer position and drawing the arms back down to the heart center. Other side from the start. Breathing in. Breathing out, soften the knees, use the legs, hands in prayer position at the top. You can look up towards the hands if that's comfortable on your neck. Fingertips away from the spine. As you breathe out, unfold and cascade forward, only as far as is comfortable. Breathing in, ripple through the spine. Walk your hands out into downward dog or use the chair. Walk your feet. Take a couple of breaths here in downward dog, walking the feet like we do in standing in Tadasana, opening the pelvis and the lower spine. Then either walk the feet or the hands back off the chair or the floor. Breathing out, press the weight through the legs all the way up, prayer position at the top, and draw that down. Now we're knitting this week's left side. So breathing in here. Breathing out, the arms open to the side, nice and wide, then straight up parallel. Shift the weight to the right foot, left foot untucked into warrior one, and breathing out, drawing and lengthening the legs and the arms. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Last one, breathing out. This time, swinging everything forward and then back out, sideways, breathing out. So breathing in, making sure the feet are nice and spread in the ground. Breathing in, breathing out, really using the legs. Breathing in, last one, breathing out. This time opening and swinging forward, hands in prayer position and drawing the weight all the way back down to the center. And releasing that. Allowing the legs and the hands to relax. Lovely. So from here, if we'd like to get a chair or you can sit on the edge of a bed, feel free to. We're going to come and just sit onto a chair, making sure our feet are nice and spread in the ground. So I'm going to sit a little bit more forward so I can really spread my feet in the ground here. So you can do this sitting on the edge of a bed or on the chair. I'm going to just rock the pelvis around, seeing where it's comfortable and neutral for the pelvis to sit. Lovely. And then rolling the shoulders, really rolling the shoulders, allowing the hands to just be relaxed, either on the thighs or down by the side of the legs. Lovely. So just to undo all that lovely movement that we've been doing and help everything cool down, just going to allow the chin to chest like we do when we're standing, and then rolling forward, sliding on the hands down the thighs to rest on the forearms, allowing the head and neck to release as well. And then on an out breath, walking the hands so the spine can come back up to sitting. We'll do that a few times more in your own time.
If you wish to, you can slide a little further, only if it's comfortable on your lower back or shoulders. If it's uncomfortable or straining, please don't worry about it at all. Even allowing weight into your hands here is wonderful for the spine and the nervous system. So we're going to breathe out, chin to chest, shoulder girdle curling over. Only go as far as is comfortable. Slide the hands over the thighs. If it's okay, you can drop to the elbows, making sure the head and neck are released. Feet are still spread in the ground, toes are relaxed, and the heels have contact as well. If you wish to, you can slide down so the chest comes to the knees, and really making sure the head and neck are released and relaxed. So this hasn't come up. We really want to relax that. Few breaths here if you wish, wherever you're at. And then with the hands on an out breath, walking your way back up to sitting. Lovely. And then rolling the shoulders again. So from here, if you can catch the upper part of your arms. If this is too much of a reach, you can kind of hug yourself. So I've got my right arm underneath and the left one on the top. You can do it the other way or here. And we're just going to gently rock the elbows from side to side. So we're allowing this movement to ripple down the spine all the way to the pelvis that's rooted in the chair, and the legs rooted in the chair as well, into the ground as well. Lovely. So even holding here, doesn't matter where. And then swapping the arms over, so the other one's underneath. Holding wherever's comfortable. So we're opening that space, that bit where you have an itch and it's really difficult to get in between the shoulder blades. We're opening up this part of the spine, allowing space and breath to draw in. The movement can ripple all the way down to the lower back, into the pelvis, down the legs into the feet that are rooted in the ground. Great. And relaxing the arms down. And just like we did at the beginning, just rubbing the hands together. We're just going to press through the face and the head and shoulders and arms again. So allowing the palms, if you feel comfortable to. You can always pause me and go and wash your hands if you wish to. Pressing the hands into the face, over the eyes, and then around either side of the face to the temples, down onto the cheeks, underneath the eyes so you can press the nose, cheeks, using your fingertips, and I have the thumb underneath, around the jaw, either side of the ears. So this time we can take a hold of the ears and the lobes, gently squeezing them back and front. And then we want to take the head, pressing our palms into our skull. You can do front and back again like we did at the start. Allowing the weight from the head falling all the way down through the spine into the pelvis. And then interlacing the fingers, and we're just going to use the heel of the hands either side of the neck on the spine. And then squeezing either side of the shoulders. So I'm going to use my other hand to help aid my arm that's working. From the neck all the way out to the edge of the shoulder. And then relax that arm, and we're just going to squeeze it all the way down, elbow into the forearm, and then the wrists into the palm of the hand, allowing that shoulder to relax and the whole arm. Difficult, but it's possible. And the fingers and thumb
And the same with the other. So catching hold of that elbow and gently squeezing, but firmly, from the neck all the way out across the top of the shoulder to the tip of the shoulder. Lovely. And then relaxing that arm, taking hold of it into the elbow, the lower arm, into the wrist, pressing into the palm, the fingers and the thumb. And then just brushing from the face down the torso at the front, the side. You can brush at the back and the thighs as well. Brushing down the arms. Once more down the front, so face to the thighs, back of the head, side and legs. Lovely. So from here, let's go to lying down to our Shavasana, the corpse's pose, out on the floor. Get bolsters, blocks, cushions, whatever you need to feel comfortable. Or if you just want to lie stretched out on the floor, please feel free to. So really taking your time, there's no rush to get to the floor. Allow everything that we've done to undo. So I'm going to just lay out in Shavasana with my legs long. Feel free to do whatever you need to do with bolsters under the knees, cushion under the head, making sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed on the floor and not up by the ears. You can release the head and the neck by rolling it side to side. And just notice where your breath is. Perhaps around the nose and mouth, chest, belly, ribs. Perhaps you can feel your breath in your feet. I'm just going to lie here, undoing the doing. All that motion and movement in the legs and pelvis to help us move, walk easier, go upstairs easier, sit more comfortably, lie with ease. Allowing your weight to just sink into the ground or wherever you're lying. So as you're here on the ground, or whatever surface you're lying on, you can stay there. I'm going to read from the book. So I'll just roll up gently. And this is a visualization that you can either just listen to, or if you feel like you want to respond to the words by moving, you can as well. It's very easy movement. You don't need to worry too much about what it looks like at all. It's really from you. So feel free to do what you wish to do, even fall asleep. So making room inside, yawning and stretching, lie down and take your time to spread out. Let your mouth, throat soften. Open and taste the breath. Letting the hard palate, the roof of the mouth, widen and open upwards like a dome. Letting your jaw, your tongue soften and let the breath fill into the space of your mouth like wind filling the sail of a boat. Let your whole face dissolve and loosen, softening to the ground. So with each yawn, reaching into the interior of the body, spreading out and opening the length of your spine. let the whole body expand and yawn. So if you feel like you need to stretch with your breath and move the arms and legs and yawn with the body as well as your breath, feel free to. Let the whole body expand and yawn. Heels, shoulders, hands, knees. Welcoming and letting the outside in. Let the yawn stretch and fill the whole body to its full size. So if you're moving around and yawning and stretching on the ground, you can do that for as long as you feel comfortable to. If you're just lying there and letting everything undo and letting your cells settle, that's also great. And letting those words and sensations ebb away. So if your eyes are closed, you can just gently open them. Perhaps squeeze or wiggle your fingers and toes to just come back round to the space that you're in. And gently, gently making your way to sitting. I'm just going to use a block to sit and kneel on today. So you can sit on a chair or sit cross-legged. Whatever's comfortable for you. Taking your time to get comfortable and to settle. If you want to stay lying on the floor, that's totally up to you as well. It's your practice for today. And however we're sitting, whether kneeling, cross-legged or on a chair, we're just going to come back to our own breath. And just feeling where that is for you right now. It doesn't have to be in the belly or the feet like sages. It could just be in the nose and the mouth. And letting the yawns in if they come. So placing one hand over the belly, just below the belly button, and then placing the other hand over the other hand. Relaxing the shoulders, and the spine can just grow up and unfurl towards the sky. We're just going to do a short 3-minute sitting meditation. Just allowing the breath to draw into the body and really allowing it to come out. So everything that we don't need can be released on an out breath. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. It could be. But thoughts that we don't need, things that we carry that we don't feel that we need anymore, we can let go on an out breath. And as we breathe in, we can breathe in all that good air, all that lovely energy, all that lovely oxygen that we do need in our bodies. Perhaps we can breathe in the things that we would just like, or that we feel that we need. Perhaps it's to feel calmer. Breathing in calmness and letting go of stress. Perhaps it's breathing in a cup of tea and letting go of anything that we don't need. Anything you choose that is helpful for you. Or breathing in more self-compassion and letting go of those negative thoughts we have about ourselves.
Doesn't have to be as deep as that. Or letting go of any bills that you're worried about. Letting go of worry. Letting go of any holding in the body. Breathing in the good stuff, the things that we need, things that will nourish us, that will bring positivity and energy to ourselves. And then letting go of that. And just coming back to the breath of where it is. Nothing's forced. Allowing yawns in and out as they come. Our pelvis is nice and rooted in the ground, so the spine can grow upwards towards the sky and unfurl. And then just coming back to where your hands are resting on the belly, just having a natural breath. And if your eyes are closed, you can gently open the eyes. Releasing the hands and then drawing the arms side and up towards the sky to prayer position and drawing them down. I'll say thank you and namaste for coming to our week 11 Movement and Yoga Online. I hope you stay well and are able to breathe with ease, and I'll see you